All right, game number 3 getting underway. Infi versus Xixi or Xiao's Xixi. This time here on Death Road. All right, Death Road, Xixi opening up with an Ancient of War here. Are we going to see the militia stop? I do believe so. No, what is this? A scout farm right there as the archer is just attempting to take down that what's it called, and was almost able to do it. You can see that the archers are actually trying to take down the scout farm here, and is an archmage going to be able to make it over in time? It does seem to be the case though, as the panda now going to go ahead and try and help take down this farm. If this farm does go down, that means no more trainable units for quite some time. Archmage is running all the way across the map. He did drop a water elemental earlier to try and get a little bit of experience a bit away, and Xixi is actually looking to be in a very good spot. All right, archers now pulling back here. Perhaps Xixi is expecting the archmage to come running down the hill, and he does not run down the hill. Not quite sure what to expect here, as we now see an Ancient of War next to this renegade wizard creep camp. All right, Panda is pretty much out of experience completely. I'm not quite sure what to be expecting here, as the Ancient of War is now going to slowly eat his way through and try and get to this skeletal warrior creep camp. Meanwhile, Water Elemental quickly taken down. Dire Wolf critical striking a number of poor militia, as this creep camp will get taken down. Meanwhile, oh, what is this? Are we going to perhaps focus down the Burning Archer and the Skeletal Marksman? That's exactly what we're seeing here. There's a Breath of Fire, Rune of Rebirth. Skeletal Marksman is now out repairing. There is a Rune of Rebirth. There is the Burning Archer, as the Water Elemental is now coming into play here. All right, Panda still sitting at level 1. The Burning Archer very low on hit points, needs to back off. And now it looks as though the Panda may be able to finish off this creep camp pretty easily. All right, Ancient of War, Water Elemental now trying to come in. If you just focus down that poor footman, that footman will get taken down, but now in comes the rest of the units here, and this is going to be really bad. Panda now needs to back off. Panda now down to 110 mana as the fight is continuing here. All right, footman trying to engage, and oh, the footman feeling the volley of so many piercing units. All of a sudden, that really did a lot more damage than he was expecting, as we now see the one footman here. That footman now going to realize that this is not a good spot to be in either, and it looks like one more volley, one more shot. Come on. Oh, come on, Panda. There he goes. Almost gets to level 2. Meanwhile, Archmage is now moving back. Ancient of War is off over here. Should be training up units. For some reason is not, as the Panda now making its way into this position. All right, archers could take down the Arcane Tower very quickly. All right, a lot of damage, and it looks like, wow, the Arcane Tower was taken down in pretty much a moment's notice. Meanwhile, the Burning Archer going to get taken down there. Breath of Fire takes down another peasant there, as we are now looking at the battling ranging on. Archmage up to level 3, though, and I think this game is just going to start to go more and more in favor of Infi, as he does have the level advantage. He looks like he might be able to get an economic advantage soon with this town hall, as it is nearing completion. All right, a number of archers are shadow melded off over here, and are we going to perhaps see a Breath of Fire? No Breath of Fire available, as the Breath of Fire or the mana on that Panda is rather low. Are we looking at more archers being trained? Yes, we are. And here we have it. That, in fact, is Brush, if you did not know. Footmen now making their way over, as an archer is attempting to take down this Scout Tower. All right, Scout Tower massively being repaired. You can see a footman and footmen all trying to find this archer, but that archer will be rather difficult to spot, as the archer going to try and shadow meld, and he does get it just in time. So hiding in the middle of moonlight, hiding in plain moonlight there to get away from that Archmage. All right, Panda's getting up to 200 mana, looking very strong right now. But the Footman and the Archmage are ready to push. With that Water Elemental and no Troll Shadow Priest, the damage could be a very big issue. All right, it looks as though that Skeletal Marksman is going to be taking a lot of damage. One Footman now down, as we see Water Elementals getting just detonated to death. Footman now trying to sneak away, will be able to do exactly that, as what's going on, as the Footmen and are able to slip right past that Hunter's Hall. Archer is still hiding in that brush, not quite sure what it plans to do. You see that this Ancient of War is still training up some units, as the Footmen are just running back from every which side of the map. Xixi getting in some free damage there as a quick run by happens. Alright, Ancient of War now attempting to make its way to the mercenary camp. It looks like the pandas, the archers, and the skeletal marksmen are all in position. The footmen do spot this, and the timing on this could not be worse, as we are now going to try and engage and take down this renegade wizard creep camp. Alright, lightning shield on the skeletal marksman. The skeletal marksman just making its way forward. You see a kobold geomancer with slow being used, and wow, the Ancient of War actually getting a blow there, meaning no experience was given. That is a very big deal. Footman now taken down there. I believe there was a bit of a steal as a creepjack as the water elemental gets taken down. All right, Wand of Mana stealing could take out some of the mana from that Archmage. Archmage needs every bit of mana that it can get. And did the panda steal any? No, has not stolen any yet. Breath of Fire could come back around. There's a big Breath of Fire. Footman could get taken down. No Footman taken down there as the panda. Oh, all of those units are so low on hit points, but the Breath of Fire is not going to reach all the way to the back there, as we are now looking at the Ancient of War taking a bit of damage as it just sits there. All right, Assassin going to get taken down. There it goes. This Assassin going to get taken down as well. A little bit of spreading of the poison damage, actually saving the skeletal marksman, as once a unit is poisoned by a poison mercenary or a poison creep, it switches targets. So that skeletal marksman, which would have been dead if it took one more attack, ends up finding himself alive. All right, let's take a look at this. Water elemental being brought into play. Archmage is almost level 4, has a Staff of Teleportation, as we now look at a dire wolf getting taken down. All right, Panda is getting very close to level 4, but will not get there just quite yet. Does pick up a Claws of Attack +9. Meanwhile, down over here, a Waygate, which I believe teleports up to over here. And now we are going to see a bit of an engagement here. Xixi looking to finish off an Ancient of War. Xixi is sitting at 46 over 50. Infi is sitting at 46 over 54. But the army of Infi is larger, or sorry, smaller, because he has so many more peasants for this creep camp. Staff of Teleportation coming in. Oh, this could be really bad. Tree of Life needs to get canceled. Is it going to get canceled in time? I don't believe so. Actually, it hasn't gotten canceled yet, as we see a Forest Troll High Priest from Xixi. All right, level 4 now on the Archmage, and it looks like the Tree of Life will end up getting canceled here, as we now see a little bit of damage coming around. All right, Archmage in a little bit of trouble. Is it going to get taken down? Slow poison, and now we do see one Footman down over here. The problem is that this Footman with Defend, even though it is completely surrounded, is not going to fall at the hands of a whole bunch of piercing damage units. Panda now being brought back into the center. We are 10 minutes into this game and still no clear victor as of yet. Infi is starting to fall a little bit behind, but he does have keep now. Meanwhile, I'm really wondering where the bears are. We are now teching the Tree of Eternity, but that means that if we are just at teching the Tree of Eternity now, Xixi is not going to be getting bears for quite some time. Xixi's expansion now being added down over here. The panda could try to come in, gets off a Breath of Fire, now retreats, and it looks like a little bit of damage was dealt, but not much though, as Infi constantly repairing here. All right, let's take a look. A Forest Troll High Priest. Much better than the Shadow Priest variety. The only downside is that they do have medium armor, meaning that they take extra damage from footmen and knights. Down over here, Panda may try to engage. There's a Breath of Fire, and the Ancient of War is all in position. Dryads may decide to fight here, but this is always a problem when you are engaging up against all these units. All right, Defend finally on all of those footmen. Breath of Fire goes down to hit many of them, and the Abolished Magic gets taken down as well. Mountain King joins in on the fight, and the Panda is now in a very difficult spot. All right, Mountain King going to go ahead and take down this Tree of Life with the help of footmen here. The Assassin shadow melding, and a beautiful shadow meld used by Infi, as we now see a Scroll of Town Portal. All right, cancellation right there. Footman does get taken down. The Assassin does not get taken out, as we should be looking at another expansion attempt coming into play once enough gold is available. Panda because he had used a Scroll of Town Portal, he was out of position. If he had walked over, he might have actually been able to really Breath of Fire down all of those footmen and really make them pay. Mountain King still sitting at level 1. We see Ents now joining in on this fight. This Elder Sasquatch summoning Trents, sorry, not Ents, Trents to take down some of this here. Infi does have defend on, not quite sure why, on all of those footmen, as we're looking at the Archmage with the Water Elemental once more preventing Xixi from setting up this expansion. Things are just going from bad to worse as Infi now makes his play back over here. Panda, Dryads, Archers now being brought over. Archers taking a little bit of damage there. There's one Scout Farm in position, and there's a Breath of Fire, but it did not do very much. The Troll High Priest should not be taking the arcane damage as the Staff of Teleportation Archmage makes its way back. All right, Mountain King going to be pushing through here, and this fight just shows you how strong of a foothold Infi has. The unit composition, so much better. Xixi has a whole bunch of Dryads that aren't going to be able to do very much of anything. It almost feels like Druids of the Talon with magic damage might be the better way to go, save for Infi does have Spellbreakers. You really can't go for heavy magic damage unless you go for Chimeras, as we are looking at the Ancient of Wonders getting taken down out over here. Tree of Life being built, I believe, for the 4th time. Archmage must realize this. Just gonna run over, drop a Water Elemental, and prevent this from being constructed for a 4th time. Archmage, there you go. Tree of Life down to 400 or at 400 hit points. Piercing damage of a Water Elemental, about 35 damage per attack. Add in the fact that buildings as they're being constructed have light armor, and that is a very big issue. All right, Tree of Life down to 100 hit points here, and it is still falling. Potion of Invulnerability being used in order to take it down. And are we going to see a cancellation? Yes, we do, as the Archmage now tries to get away. Oh, this could be extremely bad. The slow poison, the Dryads need to prance and get there faster, as the Archers now causing a little bit of a pathing issue. All right, Bears are in position as well. Staff of Teleportation. It looks like the Archmage down to 64 hit points will survive, and now needs to get healed up by some priests. Inner Fire on Infi, and for a moment I thought that the priest had cast it. That was not the case. That was a spell steal from the Spellbreaker. I would have been surprised if Infi somehow made it to castle already with all of the production that he's been ramping up. Mountain King at 3. Archmage at 3. Going up against a lone Panda sitting at 5. Does not look good for that Panda at all, as the Bears and the Archers are now making their way off to the north. You see Spellbreakers, Sorceress, Mortar teams. Yeah, that just Footmen, Archmage, Mountain King, Assassins, Priest, Forest Troll High Priest. This is such a good collection of units coming in from Infi that I don't know what exactly Xixi can do to get back into this game. Spellbreaker makes its way out quickly, does not want to join in on the fight. There's a quick roar, and we are looking at some extra bonus damage to make sure that the workshop falls before that mortar team makes its way out. All right, it looks like the Bears are now going to get taken down here, as a spell steal now going down. Sorceress getting a little bit of that bonus damage. Coming back around, it looks like the 5th time's the charm for Xixi, being able to set up his Tree of Life, but is it too little too late, as the Mountain King comes in, gets a Stormbolt off on the Forest Troll High Priest there. Mountain King should have another Stormbolt coming in. There's a Stormbolt onto the Panda, as the Panda now runs out of mana. Panda is in a little bit of a trouble, being forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal. Druid of the Claw gets taken out as well, and the Archmage and Mountain King still looking absolutely superb. Not sure what exactly the Archmage of Infi wants to do, but Infi has just been playing at a very, very high level throughout this series, and this is just looking oh so good. Archmage ready to go. Maiden of Pain and a Nether Drake. Mountain King is sitting at this Fountain of Power. Stormbolt, the Maiden of Pain, while it's trying to drain life, obviously, but it does end up getting stunned down. Let's take a look. Gem of Health. Mountain getting up to 1,200 hit points, And now that this fountain of power is or has been cleared out, there is nothing to really stop Infi. Infi can just constantly heal back up and get back up to full in a matter of seconds. All right, finally going after the Burning Archer Skeletal Marksman Creep Camp after so long. And it looks like Archmage will get to level 5. Mountain King already at 4. And I think the next fight is going to pretty much do it. As the Archmage, there he goes, picks up 1, 2. All right, Panda sitting at level 5, has an anti-magic potion, has a potion of mana, needs also a potion of invulnerability to really round out everything. All right, Staff of Teleportation teleports away the tracker. Oh, the tracker's so low on hit points. Gonna give a potion of invulnerability to the Mountain King. Wow, a potion of divinity and a potion of invulnerability. Gonna be completely ignored. Doesn't even care. Infi ignoring that potion like it was a tome, as it's not gonna matter. Panda now shows up to the fight. Here we are, Stormbolt right in time, the anti-magic shell to negate the damage and everything else. There's a Breath of Fire. Footmen very slow. They're gonna be missing targets. Panda really hoping to get more damage across all of these units here. All right, are we gonna see the mortar teams get taken down? All right, Stormbolt onto the Panda. Panda needs to get off a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire, gets it into the center portion of the units, but needs to take down some of these mortar teams here. Mountain King now seen at level 5, 350 hit point Stormbolt, and there is the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed the series. Xixi losing the series here. Thanks for watching.